What's going on, guys? It is Patrick, and welcome back to the channel Double Games. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and then comment down below. To be informed of the next video, hit that little bell icon. In today's video, I am going to be giving you my deepest, darkest opinions and thoughts on Donkey Kong Bananza for the Nintendo Switch 2. Just a heads up, there are going to be spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled on anything when it comes to the game, be sure to swing on over to the next video. You have been warned. Donkey Kong Bananza takes place below the surface in different sub-layers, which are essentially different levels. There are a bunch of different biomes to differentiate each sub-layer, which makes it a great and grand, unique experience. Like other Donkey Kong games, our protagonist, DK, has to hunt down the bananas which were stolen from him. The baddies in this one are the Void Code trio, Poppy, Grumpy, and Void. Plot twist, King K. Rool and his Kremling villains are also in the late stages of this game, which makes me a little bit disappointed, only because I wish that this adventure and the villains were solely based around those guys. But maybe that's for another game. Anyways, along Donkey Kong is his little sidekick, Odd Rock, who we later find out to be Pauline, who is trapped in her rock form by Void. Together, DK and Pauline both have an aligning objective: to get to the planet's core. DK so he can get his bananas back, and Pauline so she can make it back home. All while defeating main villains, smashing terrain, earning outfits that provide different buffs, all while collecting everything. And let me warn you, there are tons, absolutely tons to collect in this game. And if you're someone like myself that needs to collect every little collectible before moving on from a level, well, good luck. Like I mentioned, there are a plethora of different collectibles in each of the different sublayers. Let's start off with bananas. In Donkey Kong Bananza, the different bananas that you can find are called Banandium gems. They're essentially crystals that come in 1, a bunch of 3, or a bunch of 5, depending on the tasks you've completed. The single Banandium gems are typically found around the level or sublayer. The bunch of 3 is from beating a mini boss or doing difficult tasks, and the bunch of 5 is typically awarded after beating a main boss and going down to a new sublayer. You can use these Banandium gems to upgrade your passive skills or your Bananza skills, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. Next, there are fossils. Typically in each of the different sublayers, you'll find 3 different kinds of fossils. All the fossils can be used to purchase outfits, as well as upgrades towards your outfits to increase the power of each passive effect. For example, an outfit might cost you 10 frog fossils, and it'll decrease the damage from each enemy by 15%. The upgrade might cost you 3 shell fossils, and then increase that effect to 30%, and so on. There are a bunch of different outfit combinations that you can utilize, which will typically make playing in each sublayer easier and give you an advantage in battles or puzzles. Next, we have a bunch of other little collectibles throughout the game, starting off with Banandium chips. These can be used to purchase Banandium gems, gold, which can be used at different vendors to create access to different areas or bonus puzzle areas, as well as to purchase balloons if you fall off a cliff, apple juice if you lose all your health, which will revive you, and melon juice, which allows you to activate your Bananza without full power. In my own personal opinion, there are way too many collectibles in this game because I am someone that cannot move on and get past a level unless I 100% it. Throughout the game and each of the different sublayers, I found myself smashing away, smashing terrain, using my clap ability, looking for all the fossils, looking for all of the Banandium gems before I can move on. And straight up, at hour 25 of the game, I found myself getting fairly burnt out. And it was the same gameplay loop. You smash one thing, you smash another thing, you collect one thing, and then you buy an outfit, you upgrade that outfit, and then upgrade it again. It was repetitive. I think if mentally I was able to just play the game, take it at face value for what it is, be okay with playing the game, playing one bonus level at a time, missing a collectible here and there, not always hunting down all the fossils, I may not have gone through this burnout experience. Let me know if you went through this too. There is surprisingly a lot underneath the hood in Donkey Kong Bananza from a gameplay standpoint. Starting off, you can literally smash and destroy all terrain, well, almost all terrain, almost everything. You'll find yourself digging tunnels, throwing rocks to get to different areas, and using your Bonanza ability to get to hard-to-reach collectibles. An interesting new mechanic to this era in the Donkey Kong franchise is the Bonanza ability. A Bonanza allows you to turn into different animals and gain their unique abilities, such as a snake to bounce real high, a zebra to run fast, an ostrich to fly, and more. It's similar to Donkey Kong 64, except when you turn into these animals, you are a more steroided up gorilla mixed version of these animals, which is pretty fucking cool. It's similar to Donkey Kong 64 in the sense that you can control the different characters like Diddy, Tiny, or Lanky, each having their own abilities, but with Bonanza, it was much more streamlined and modern, where you could switch between each of them on the fly, whereas in Donkey Kong 64, you had to find the specific barrels and backtrack to get where you needed to go with the certain character. Next, there are a ton of different perks you can get in Donkey Kong Bonanza. You can gain unique skills, like the Turf Surf skill, when you grab a piece of rock and use it as a surf or skateboard while utilizing it to get places quickly, or avoid obstacles which will hurt you. There are areas where you can rest up to regain your health called getaways, all littered around each of the sublayers. Here you can also talk to one of the NPCs who will sell you items for your adventure, such as outfits, health items, etc. That way you don't have to go searching for the specialty shops. You can use a closet to get changed into your different outfits and even change the music at your getaway. I always found myself opting for the Donkey Kong Country soundtracks, like the bonus level, DK Artist, which was the OG overworld music in Donkey Kong Country, or 2D Challenge Course 2, which is a remix of DKC2's Bramble Blast level called Sticker Bush Symphony. Lastly, with the getaways, they added fast travel points, which allowed you to teleport instantaneously to either other getaways, places of interest, or sublayers. Teleporting was essentially your fast travel. Overall, combat was also fairly basic. You could smash enemies, punch them, roll into them. You could either fight them in your basic form, or you can turn into your Bonanza form and make things a little bit more interesting. Some of the flying enemies required you to actually throw terrain at them to defeat them. Certain enemies needed certain terrain to be thrown at them to blast their shields off so you could expose their jelly interior. The game definitely plays homage to what's come before it. In certain bonus levels, there are 2D side-scrolling sections where you're blasting barrel to barrel through Bramble and revisiting Donkey Kong's treehouse. On top of that though, throughout the world and even boss encounters, there are minecart areas. In others, you're able to ride Rambi and smash terrain, and sticking to that retro feeling, you can just talk to Old Man Cranky Kong and listen to his lectures. Overall, I did think that the gameplay was pretty fun. It was really cool to see the Donkey Kong franchise take a step into this RPG realm and add different perks and type of ability trees to this game. In the early stages of the game, you could customize Donkey Kong however you liked, whether you chose to add a new skill to his arsenal or just give him an extra heart for more health. You, the player, got to choose your own path on this based solely off of the collectibles you collected. But closer to the end game, he's a lot more well-rounded, and the path and specific perks you've chosen for Donkey Kong don't necessarily matter anymore in terms of uniqueness. The Bonanza abilities and transformations are an amazing addition and a fun mechanic that allow the player to interact with the environment in different ways, whether that's from combat, traversal, or puzzle perspective. Getting from place to place didn't seem like a hassle with how quick you're able to move with either the perks you've gained through the adventure or by teleporting. The difficulty wasn't terrible by all means. There are plenty of areas to rest up, regain health, and continue onwards. But what did I really think about the game? Sure, I'm telling you what Donkey Kong Bonanza does well and what it doesn't do well, but what are my deepest, darkest thoughts on it? Well, it's a good game. I don't think it's amazing by all means, but I am really appreciative that we got a new Donkey Kong game. A new 3D Donkey Kong game since Donkey Kong 64. I just think towards the end of the game, I got a little bit burnt out due to the repetitiveness of it and how anal I was when it came to collecting things. And it also just wasn't specifically the Donkey Kong game that I wanted. There were and are really so many collectibles throughout each of the different sublayers that I could not move on. I couldn't. I needed to collect literally everything. I needed every banana, fossil, and outfit before I could continue to the next sublayer. I'd find myself purchasing maps for the bananas or the fossil and consistently using DK's clap echolocation thing to see if anything was in range. And with that, I didn't really find myself playing the game. I think that if I just stumbled upon each of the collectibles and I just played the game as it was meant to be played, my experience would have been filled with a lot more joy, because I really did have fun with what the game had to offer. Like I mentioned a little earlier, in lieu of riding your animal buddies like in previous games, you get to turn into a more beefy, more steroided, gorilla mixed up versions of them. Like, how cool is that? On the latter though, Bananza did feel kind of samey and repetitive, smashing terrain over and over. By the mid-game, I just kind of had enough of it. I wasn't really invested in the story it had to offer, and I'm not sure why, but I kind of found Pauline annoying. I'd listened to everything she had to say before resting up, and I regret it because I was hoping it would add more to the story and not just an observation of the terrain we're in. Don't get me wrong, some of the small interactions were cute, but I suppose I just wanted a little bit more from it. I am glad though that I did stick through it. Once you finally reach the planet's core, you defeat Void, my favorite villain appears, King K. Rool. K. Rool is unleashed from the trap he was in. He punches Void into the void. See what I did there? You go further into the core, into what seems like a Lost World level type of experience, and you encounter Kremlings. I start to get excited about the game again because this is what I wanted from Donkey Kong Bananza the entire time. I wanted those classic Donkey Kong villains and heroes that we just didn't get in this. I wanted to revisit DK Isle, Congo Jungle, Gorilla Mines, Crazy Kremland, and Gangplank Galleon. I wanted to hear more of those retro tracks. To me, those retro tracks are just so iconic and they really resonate with me when I think of Donkey Kong. And I feel like so many other fans would agree with me. We saw Diddy and Dixie maybe once, and there was just one reference to Swanky. And yeah, there were other little Easter eggs like the fossils having Squitter or the banana birds, but I always found myself longing for more. Seeing that old formula brought into the modern era, either in a 2D or 3D platform, is what I've always wanted since the original release of Tropical Freeze on the Wii U. But I suppose I can just play what's already been ported to the Switch. Or I can just pop in my cartridges for DKC 1, 2, or 3 into my Super Nintendo. But tell me, what did you think of Donkey Kong Bananza? Is it everything you wanted? Maybe you wanted something a little bit different. Did you even agree with anything I had to say? Leave a comment down below. Be sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed. Tap that bell to be informed of all future videos. Once again, I'm Patrick, and thank you so much for choosing Double Double Games for your video game news. Thanks, and peace out.